Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot real? Bigfoot is an ape/human type creature that many believe exist, mostly living in forests in the Pacific Northwest region of the North American continent. He is often referred to as Sasquatch. He is often described as large, hairy, resembling a half-man, half-ape type creature in folklore and myths. Many of those who report seeing Bigfoot describe him as having large eyes, a low-set forehead, large brow ridges, and enormous footprints. He's believed to be upwards of 500 pounds and almost 3 meters tall. He is also reported as very smelly and mostly nocturnal. Many of the indigenous cultures of North America includes tales of mysterious creatures living in the forest. And according to archaeologists, these legends existed long before reports of Bigfoot. These reports differ in their details, but are generally describing the same sort of creature. Petrographs created by a group of Yokuts at the site called Painted Rock are alleged by some to be called groups of Bigfoot, called families. The local tribesmen called the largest painting the hairy man, and they're estimated to be 500 to 1,000 years old. 16th century Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers, so-called Dark Watchers, which were large creatures alleged to stalk their camps at night. In the region now known as Mississippi, a French Jesuit priest was living with the Natchitoches people in 1721 and reported stories of a large, hairy creature in the woods that was known to scream loudly and steal livestock. Most cultures have accounts of human-like giants in their culture and their folklore. Each language has its own name for these creatures featured in them, such as Wild Man or Hairy Man or Sasquatch. Early in 1884, the British colonist newspaper in Victoria published an account of a gorilla-type creature captured in the area. Other accounts, likely described as hoaxes, followed according to the Canadian Encyclopedia. But the modern Bigfoot or Sasquatch myth gained new life in the 1950s. In 1958, the Humboldt Times, a local newspaper in Northern California, published a story about a discovery of giant mysterious footprints near Bluff Creek, California. In the story, they referred to the creature as Bigfoot. Bigfoot curiosity grew rapidly after the second half of the 20th century, after an article in True magazine described the discovery. The footprints near Bluff Creek were a prank by a man named Ray Wallace. His children revealed after his death in 2002. By that time, Bigfoot was firmly established in pop culture across the continent. Since then, a wealth of other claims have been made. Sasquatch tracks, casts, photos, videos, and other evidence. But eyewitness accounts are the most common evidence put forward to the existence of Bigfoot. Unfortunately, these are based on human memories, and memories are not reliable. In crime cases, for example, witnesses can be influenced by their emotions and may miss or distort important details. In the same vein, some people often overestimate their ability to remember things. When it comes down to cryptids like Bigfoot, the human brain is capable of making up expectations. And many people simply want to believe that they exist. But the most famous Bigfoot evidence is the Patterson footage shot in Bluff Creek. The video shows what appears to be a very large bipedal ape, or Bigfoot, striding through the clearing. The video's authenticity is still debated. Some people claim to have heard Bigfoot shrieks, howls, and growls, screams, or other vocalizations. The creatures are also associated with other noises, such as wood knocking. Experts can't always identify the animals in strange recordings. Cryptozoologists point to this as evidence. For example, growls and screams can often be heard in the forests in the northwestern Ontario forests, driving Bigfoot speculation. But with the rise of high-quality cameras and smartphones, you'd think that we'd be able to catch a glimpse of such Bigfoot. I mean, the pictures of people, cars, mountains, flowers, sunsets, deer, and many other things have gotten sharper and clearer over the years. But Bigfoot is a notable exception, of course, as there has been no legitimate photographic evidence of Bigfoot so far. But I do believe it is possible, as unknown creatures have been discovered many, many times over. Tell me what you think about Bigfoot, whether it exists or not.